What's up, brujitas? Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff. My New Year's was great. My Christmas sucked, kinda. All three of my kids decided to get COVID for Christmas. And so our Christmases were kind of cut short, or it was just stupid. I don't know, but they're fine now. Just no need to worry, but they're all good. But I've been so freaking busy this month. I've got so many things cooking right now. I haven't had a chance to post anything, and I started working on this video like weeks ago. Got it halfway done, and then when I sat down to finish it, I rewrote it and you know what? Let me start over. And so I meant to get it out earlier. I wanted to end the year with this video, but it didn't happen. And here we are already almost halfway in January, and I'm posting it now. So forgive me with that. But hope everything is well. Sorry, not sorry for my extended Christmas break, but one of the things I got cooking right now, and I can't really get into details about it too much because there's really aren't any yet, but there's something that I'm working on that's going to be, if it happens, it's going to be amazing, and you might see me on TV if that's the case. But I'll get into that maybe later on at a later date once I get a little more info. So today, and I'm going to have to wear my glasses for this because my eyes are getting so bad. I swear to God, they're bad. So I'm going to put these on, and if these look stupid on me, let me know in the comments, and I'm going to be with some more fancy hipstery ones or something. I don't know. But I can't read. These are like readers. But today, I'm going to be doing part 2 of the series working with deities, angels, demons, and things like that. Now, it may be a little bit different approach today, because as far as some of you may know from my past videos or not or whatever, I'm actually an ordained minister. I was a pastor of my own church in downtown Las Vegas for many years and things like that, and so I've had a lot of biblical training and things like that. But in switching back to my practice into witchcraft and doing other studies, I've come to learn so much, and I wanted to share my knowledge with you and my understanding and my interpretation of these things and working with demons or daemons, demos, whatever your pronunciation is, whatever cultural language or timeline or whatever you want to call them. But so today, part 2 of this series, I'm going to go way back to the creation. And I wanted to talk, today we're going to be talking about who is Lucifer, who is Satan, the devil, Lilith, and everybody else. And it's going to be a lengthy video. I'm going to try to keep it down, and I'm actually going to break this lesson up into parts 2 and part 3 because I didn't think I'd get everything in today, and I didn't want to make it super, super long. So here we go. So today, let me give you a little recap, because the first part 1 was talking about if somebody, because I get the question all the time, who do you work with? Do you work with anybody? How do you work with them? Well, and for many, many years, I never worked with any deity, any god or goddesses or anybody, until recently, this past year or so, when I felt being called by Hecate, and I've been working and developing a relationship with her. That was the part 1 video, was how to approach these things. So today we're going to be talking about who is Lucifer, who is Satan, demons, and things like that. Now, I'm going to take a little, of course, a biblical approach, but not from the Christian Bible so much, but from the book of Enoch. and the lost books of the Bible that have been omitted because they considered them fiction, and they're called the I can never say this friggin' word, pseudo-papagrapha or something like that. But we're going to be talking about the names in the books. Like I'm going to go over, well, a lot of this stuff is taken from basically from the book of Enoch, but the other books that come with it. There's the book of Adam and Eve, books 1 and 2, book of Jasher, book of Jubilees, book of Giants, the War Scrolls, the Dead Sea Scrolls, ancient texts, things like that. And once again, I'm giving you my opinion, my interpretation of what I've read and what I've learned and things like that. So, now, we're going to be talking about Lilith again, which I said. And later on in part 3 of the video, we're going to be talking about the Watchers. Who were the Watchers? The Nephilim, the giants, the monsters, the Eljo, the superhumans, things like that. Who are all these people? What were their responsibilities? Why are they here? We're going to be talking about that in the next video. And I'm going to get into names and their particular responsibilities on Earth, or what they were responsible for, their jobs. So, but, okay, let's start. Well, who is Satan? Who is Lucifer? Okay, first, and I think it's a big misconception, and I think you have to learn this right off the bat. Okay, for some of us may know and understand that how there's the Trinity, the Godhead, these three are one, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, okay? 3 entities, 1 person, okay? Satan and Lucifer are the same person. Okay, Lucifer was God's ultimate, beautiful, best creation. Okay? He was beautiful in looks, had power over all the other angels, creator of music. He was an angel of light, super smart and crafty. But according to both Bibles, whatever, in Christian Bible, he says he rebelled against God. But did he really? Because as the story goes, basically, he wanted to exalt himself above God, or as like God. He wanted to be equal with God. And God's like, no, get out of here. And that was it. He didn't do anything wrong, per se. He just wanted to be as an equal. And he wanted to make us like him. So God kicked him out. And a lot of the followers, the fallen angels, he took 1/3 of the angels with him, according to the Bible. And that's a lot of angels that went with them. I mean, hundreds and hundreds. And then you got to understand, those fallen angels have now become demons, and the legions, and each one of them, just like the archangels, they have titles, they have responsibilities, and they still do now, even though now they're on earth. So, before he was cast out, or right before, this is called the Great War in Heaven. Michael the Archangel and Lucifer fought. Because Lucifer felt he was right. Michael's like, oh, you got to listen to Dad. Whatever. No. They fought. Michael won. And he was cast down to earth with his demons. Now, when he came to earth, when he was banished to earth, he took on the role of Satan, or the devil. Now, Satan, or Satans, is just a title, meaning adversary. It's just a title. Because there's somebody who's like Belial's the chief of Satans, the chief of the adversaries. Okay? And the term basically means, okay, Satan is a title meaning adversary. The devil is a term kind of like a Caesar or an emperor, if you want to say something like that. It's a term, it's like a title, like a position. And the devil is a term more like he's a devil, more like the term like he's an asshole, he's a jerk, he's whatever. It's a term. And then Lucifer, of course, is the first created being, the first angel. And then Samael is not Lucifer, but he's an angel, the angel of death. Okay? Two different people. Belial, like I said, is the chief of the devils. Okay? And Mastema is also another word for Lucifer or Satan. Not used much. It hasn't been not mentioned too much, but it's another word meaning adversary. So, according to the Christian Bible, Lucifer was God's greatest creation. Like I said, beautiful in looks and all that stuff. And we took a third of the angels with them. Now, I think now that they've been cast out and they're here on earth, that's why it makes it more easier and accessible for us to work with them. You know, when we call on them. And then as the legions came down, once again, like I said, there's like a hierarchy. They have titles and responsibilities, and they still do here. Now, I believe, in my opinion, because there's the major demons and then minor demons. And I believe that a lot of the minor demons, we don't know their names. And I think they're the ones who are considered the tricksters. Like some people said, conjured up a demon who just plays tricks on them and just fucks their life up and this and that. I think those are them. Because they don't have any major responsibility or role to fulfill. I'm guessing. So, and then I hear some people, I've heard different stories. Some people love working with Lucifer. Some don't. And it's funny because you've probably seen the show Lucifer on TV on Fox. Now, for me, I love that show. I think it's a good portrayal of Lucifer, the person who just wants to fulfill the pleasures of the flesh. And I'm going to get a little more into that, about our evil nature and things like that later on. But he basically, to me, the way I look at it, he's still, on the TV show, he portrays basically the principles of Luciferianism. And, which is like, it's feeling the pleasures of the flesh. Treat others as they deserve to be treated. Whether it's good or bad. He's a liberator, a guardian of light, or considered a true God as opposed to Jehovah God. And I remember one of the episodes in there, and this is the way that I view him as well. There was an episode where Lucifer, I forgot even the storyline, but he confronted some dude. He's like this gothy devil worshiping guy, or I don't know, whatever. And he has his pentagrams and stuff like that or whatever. And Lucifer grabbed it. He goes, I don't care about this crap. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I agree with that. And that's how he is. But my opinion, once again, my opinion. But I ran into this story that I want to share with you by this person. Now, I don't know who this person, I haven't done any kind of background check or any information on this person, but her name is Anima Noira. And I guess she had a pact with Lucifer and she worked with them or whatever. And so she decided, she wrote an essay about it. I don't know if it's for school or for what, but she wrote an essay. And I thought it was really, really interesting. So I wanted to read it to you. So basically what she says, talking about making pacts with Lucifer. She says, don't. She says, for all those who are curious about forging a pact with Lucifer and ask for my recommendations, I actually recommend don't. I advise against making pacts with Lucifer. He is harsh. He is a harsh mistress to serve and gets displeased quite often when his plans do not work out. Total submission would be perhaps a harsh way to describe what he requires of his true folk, but I am also not far from the mark when I use these words. He seems to agree and actually wants me to put out this negative advertisement. He says, even the furies of hell, the sisters of Hecate, will treat you better than I have treated mine, those who have signed up with me and have given up all comforts of their souls and have traded it for glory. Unless you are like him, you will not withstand this turmoil and pressure. He also wants to stand always on the front stage of history, so he recruits those who have a shine, who do not mind the limelight on them and attention. He is not a spirit who works in the dark or shies away from the spotlight. My advice, unless you have a major soul contract with his infernal majesty, great band, by the way, him, that's what it stands for, already from past incarnations, just forget it. Lucifer is extremely political. He is always plotting. He is a lord of this world. And that's what the Bibles call him. The prince of the power of the air. He is the lord of this world, and the kind of game he plays is a big game, which makes him seem extremely utilitarian, even callous. He is all about moving the figurines on the chessboard. He is hella impatient and passionate about his plans. He considers other deities too inflexible in their thinking, or they're just pussies. His favorite word, actually, for he despises cowards more than anything else. Your bravery must be absolute on this path. There's probably a better alliance you could forge with other infernals, or just work with demons freely without contracts. And that's another, I guess, big misconception too, that people think if you work with a demon, you have to sell your soul to the devil and all that. No, you don't, because they're not all like that, from what I understand. Oh, and let us not forget, more than any other deity, he will make the best use of anything you give him. He will move in like a biker gang occupying abandoned property if you give him 1 inch. He will take your arm. He is too smart to be outsmarted. Even demons do not trust him. He told me there is nobody I haven't screwed over walking on this planet. Man, woman, spirit. I have played them all. He's extremely cunning, so either you are going to like that or you are going to choose another patron who gives you a more maternal face. He's also straight up, likes to screw folks over with pacts. Boil them over, the small print, and the legalese. Because I have a hilarious story about where a man asked for a wife, built his entire pact with the devil around it, only to find out months later that the wedding ceremony he had was not legally binding. Well, that sucks. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe he dodged a bullet, bro. I don't know. So you can have your cake and eat it too. What else? Oh, he loves to expose his servants to physical pain and expects you not to puss out. Devotees have reported that when he is displeased, they wake up in the morning feeling as if somebody beat them up with a stick. He once threw me against a concrete ice-cold pavement just to make a point about not breaking an oath of silence. So, you all want to make a pact with the devil, the prince of darkness himself. Still sounds like a good idea. Contrary to popular perception, he doesn't care about sex and getting people laid. Well, that sucks. He cares about forging powerful alliances, creating power couples that will serve him in passing on his current and his lineages, even if that means somebody will be holding a single man vigil the entire night until they pass out. It is absolutely certain that he will bring you past your willing comfort zone if you sign up to serve him, or if you have signed up in the past and have not found your way out of his covenant. He can grant you glory, fame and fortune, esoteric secrets, occult abilities, even a certain form of immortality. But you have to become like him, and that is probably not who you are or what you want to become anyway. So choose carefully, because when you serve the devil, and there's no rest for the wicked. Now, that's a pretty heavy story, Yelp review, whatever you want to call it. Now, on the flip side of that, there's many YouTubers and videos out there, people that work with him and love him. And one video I saw, that I forgot even the name of who this person was. I can't remember. I don't even know if they saw the channel or not. But she was talking about how she's like friends with Lucifer, in a sense where when she meets with him or whatever, he's told her that he's not a bad person and what people portray him to be, but he's here to help mankind. And he keeps getting the short end of the stick. So I'm like, okay. And it's funny for me, as being a gray witch, being a balance of light and dark, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like I have Luciferian tendencies. I believe in their philosophy and the pleasures of the flesh and treating others as they deserve and shit like that. But I don't claim to be one. And I also, for the record, and I've said this before many times, just because I was born again Christian I don't call myself a Christian witch. And there's a lot of people in the witchy groups that I have that do that and say that, and it becomes this big old discourse of negative, confrontation. I'm like, man, let people be. Let people practice how they want, whether the fuck you disagree with it or not. Who gives a shit? Show me on the doll where it's hurting you. It's fucking ridiculous. Who cares? But anyways, I digress. I don't call myself a Christian witch. So, there's different viewpoints. It depends on which way you want to look at it. I don't, whatever. But, so that's basically the story of who Lucifer is. And Satan and everything else. Now, when he was cast to earth, and God made him in the form, took the body of a serpent. Once again, talking about Satan, the devil, Lucifer, whatever. He doesn't make us do anything we don't want to do. He's not sin. He doesn't cause sin. He just makes us think about sin. When he tempted Eve in the garden, what did he say to her? He said, you know what? Did God really say that not to eat this fruit? Did he really say that your eyes will be open? All he did was question her. He didn't make her do anything. So we have to question ourselves, because evil nature is instilled in us since birth. You don't have to teach a 5-year-old how to be bad or not steal or be a bully or be mean or whatever. It's already there. You have to teach them how not to steal, how to be a good person, to be nice. Some people call it the sin nature. It's just our inherent nature in us. But when we think about it and dwell on it, we act it out, that's when it becomes evil. And, depending. And in one of my prior videos, I think it was my spiritual funk video, I can't remember, where I talk about how every day we come to the table, we get up here, and we have choices to make. I mean, sitting at the table is say there's Satan, Jesus, the world, and you. So we have to decide, which road am I taking today? Which way am I going to go? One way to look at it. Now, I want to talk about one of the, I call her one of the major demons because she's actually in control and charge of legions of demons herself, and her name is Lilith. Some people work with Lilith. But I want to give you, from the book of Enoch itself, the actual scripture. It's not long at all because there's not a lot written about Lilith. But it sums everything up. And this is why I believe they left it out. I don't know. But I love the book of Enoch. It's way more, to me, accurate and more telling than what the Bible, the Christian Bible is now. Because I believe the Christian Bible now has been rewritten solely for the purpose to try to control us, to create a boogeyman for us to fall in line, in my opinion. So I am going to read, this is a great book, by the way, The Books of Enoch. Get it on Amazon. It's a fucking great book. So, like I said, this is not super long, so bear with me. It's short, but it's gonna, in a nutshell, tell you who Lilith is, okay? And so, just for the record, just so you know, okay, she was human. She's not a goddess. She was human and formed or transformed into a demon, okay? Demon, succubus, okay? So, this is how the story goes. So, God created all things living, and then he created man. He created a man and a woman and gave them dominion over all things. God named the man Adam. The woman he named Lilith. Both were formed from the dust of the earth, and in both God breathed the breath of life. They became human souls, and God endowed them with the power of speech. Created at the same time, in the same way, there was no master, no leader, and only bickering between them. Sounds like a married couple. Lilith said, I will not be below you in life or during sex. This is written scripture, just by the way. I want the superior position. But Adam would not relent and insisted God had created him to be the head of the family and in the affairs of the earth. Lilith was enraged and would not submit. Then God communed with Adam in the cool of the evening, and as he entered into his presence, Adam appealed to God. As God fellowshiped with them, they reasoned together. Here's where it gets interesting. Adam, Lilith, and the living God, which I believe was Jesus at that time. But Lilith would not listen to God or Adam. Seeing that with two people of equal authority, there could be no solution, Lilith became frustrated, angry, and intractable. Finally, enraged and defiant, she pronounced the holy and ineffable name of God. Corrupting the power of the name, she flew into the air, changing form, and disappeared, soaring out of sight. Adam stood alone, confused, praying. Lord of the universe, he said, the woman you gave me has run away. At once, 3 holy angels were dispatched to bring her back to Adam. Didn't give the names of them, though. The angels overtook Lilith as she passed over the sea in the area where Moses would later pass through. The angels ordered Lilith to come with them in the name and by the authority of the Most High God, but she refused. As her rebellion increased, she changed, becoming more and more ugly and demonic. God spoke into Lilith's heart, saying, "You have chosen this evil path, and so you shall become evil. You are cursed from now until the end of days." Lilith spoke to the angels and said, "I have become this, created to cause sickness, to kill children, which I will never have, and to torment men." With these words, she completed her demonic transformation. Her form was that of a succubus. Confined to the night, she was destined to roam the earth, seeking newborn babes, stealing their lives, and strangling them in their sleep. She torments men even now, causing lust and evil dreams. Her rebellious and evil spirit forever traps her. Bound in the darkness of her own heart, Lilith became the mistress and lover to legions of demons. And Adam's countenance fell, and he mourned, for he had loved Lilith, and he was again alone and lonely. That's all there is. That's all that's written about Lilith. Because at that point, that's where I guess the Christian Bible takes over and says, hey, let's rewrite this and talk about it, even make it more, not so evil or whatever. So, and like I said, kind of just like working with Lucifer, some people work with Lilith and like her. Some people say she's really tough, but amazing. I don't know. I thought Hecate was tough, but she's been great so far. And something crazy happened the other night that I think involved her. That was crazy. I'll share that another time. But so there you have it. I'm going to end this video with that and go into part 2. Otherwise, I'll probably be here for an hour. But so there you have it. Lilith was never a goddess. She was human who became a succubus, demonic thing, and now controls legions of demons and things like that. So, quick recap from the creation or whatever. There was the archangels, including Lucifer. Okay. Then cast out. Okay. And some of those angels that followed him are now the demons, a third of them that are here. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting in the next video, part 3, where these angels and other angels were tasked the job of watching mankind, to not get involved, but to watch and whatever. And they're called the Watchers. And we're going to get into how these Watchers lusted after human women and had sex with them and gave birth to the Nephilim, who then gave birth to giants, who then gave birth to superhumans, who then gave birth to regular humans, us. So that's basically the chronological timeline of the history and creation of Earth and all of us and what have you. So the next video, we're going to talk about all of that. And another interesting point about one of the angels in there too, about the beginning of witchcraft, where it all started, basically. And it's very interesting. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to get into the names of the Watchers, the archangels, the responsibilities, their titles, the titles of the demons, things like that. It's amazing, and what they do and what they're in charge of. So, you guys, thank you so much for tuning back in. Sorry again, not sorry for my extended Christmas break. It was well needed, but I feel rejuvenated. I feel pumped. I'm in a I don't know. I'm just a lot of things cooking right now, and I can't wait to share them with you later on. We'll see what happens. Maybe another month or two. I'll be able to share a little more information, but whatever. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much. Welcome back. And stay tuned next week for part 3 of my Working with Deities and Demons videos. And then I'm going to end it with part 4, which will be working with servitors and egregores and how to create one and things like that. I'll end it with that. But thanks again, you guys. Remember, do no harm, take no shit. Love you. And a big, huge shout out and welcome and thank you to all my new subscribers. Because in my absence this past month, I got like 150 new subscribers. I mean, that's awesome. I love that so much. My goal was trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by this time, because when did I start this? I launched this channel in February of 2021. Right? February, Marchish, kind of, I think. So next month will be my 1-year anniversary, and then I'm going to do another Meet Reverend Dave video. Where am I at now, and with all this and whatever. And once again, I'm also going to try to rebrand my channel a little bit. And that's, like I said, that's part of the whole other thing that I'm doing, and I don't want to get too much into that, but you'll see it firsthand. But I got a lot of topics on deck. And you know me, I like to be a little controversial, just make you think a little bit and whatever, and know what you are getting into and things like that and what have you. But love you. You guys, I'll see you soon. Peace out.